channel. Today's video is going to revolve around the technique which came into existence so recently and is known as the Pomodoro Technique. This mode of work probably came into being when most of us were either not born or were little tiny beings, back in those days. Introduced by Francesco Celio in the 1990s, this is a method that everybody is quite curious to know more about. Today's video is going to delve deeper into this strategy called the Pomodoro Technique and pull out the best of it for you. Subsequently, we shall dive into how most of us are constantly on an endless hustle, which at times is devoid of any aim or meaning. On top of it, it's quite simply lack of sense of productivity, especially the way most of us do it. The prime reason we're talking about the Pomodoro Technique is to pull out greater productivity from our person. Subsequent to that is the idea of throwing away the procrastination that engulfs us on almost daily basis. You obviously are seeking to achieve both the aforementioned traits with, of course, least amount of effort. Aren't we all trying to get there in our very own and harmonious way? Well, the idea is to inculcate the process into your life as early as possible, just the way Japanese inculcate discipline into their young ones from the time they are barely 4 years of age. However, remember the age-old ages. It's never too late. Whether you are 5 or 55 years old, you should never stop learning. So, why delay any further? Let us now suggest you how you can induce these methods in your daily routine, whether you are in your school or college. If you have been given by your school teacher a lengthy assignment to complete, which you certainly believe could take several days to compile up, then hold on, because it's time for you to experience joy and glee. This statement would have left you surprised, or maybe even shocked, isn't it? But the reason we want you to be ecstatic is because now we're going to put forth the most amazing solution that you will ever come across. The deployment of this approach we have been harping about, the Pomodoro Technique. Break that extensive and extended assignment of yours into smaller portions, just as one eats meals. When you have a huge plate of meal in front of you and you're experiencing a raging hunger, you surely do not gobble down 1 kilo of meal, which is there right in front. You consume it down bite by bite, isn't it? This is what you precisely have to do with big and lengthy assignments at hand. The prime reason Pomodoro can prove to be effective for you as well is because human attention is ephemeral, or in a much simpler term, very transient. It is adept at completing tasks in shorter intervals, because its attentiveness has its own impediments. This implies that if we work in a shorter and much more strategic intervals, we are sure to demonstrate higher level of efficiency, which in turn yields a spontaneously amazing eventual results. Thus, we have a humble message from school students, to office goers, to the veterans from the corporate world. Why not give this technique a try? Because always remember that it doesn't cost a penny to try something new. That too, something which has been quite a tried and tested methodology for a great productive capacity. Let's give it a try then, shall we? We will now make an attempt to explain to you, in extensive detail, how you can make use of timer to implement this strategy by breaking up bigger tasks into smaller ones. This is a short, yet a super amazing 4-step method. Let's sink right into it then. Step number 1. Fix a timer for 20 to 30 minutes, whatever suits your needs, mind and body. Ensure that the time bracket you zero in on is absolute sync with your physical self. One thing you have to keep in mind at all times is that your body should be in complete consonance with the time you wish to go with. Do not overstretch your limits. Step 2. In those 20 to 30 minutes, focus on only the small tasks at hand. Forget about the lengthier assignments that you have submit, else the whole process will become quite a mentally daunting and laboring engagement for you. Always remember that you have got to enjoy what you do, else all of this will be a complete failure. Step 3. Just as stated earlier, make it your duty that in those 20 minutes or so, you have to get completely submerged in the work that you're going to do, which simply indicates to one fact, that you don't have to use social media in any form whatsoever. So, keep that phone of yours unconditionally and downright out of your range. It is like you have planned to donate away those 30 minutes to a task. Do it this way. Donations are meant to be only given away. So, give that time to the task at hand. Step 4. The moment timer goes off, get up and take a quick break. And ensure that the place of break is far away from your work zone. This makes one thing certain, that you completely leave behind the work. Well, quite literally, and even metaphorically. One thing you can possibly do is engage in body stretches. This helps one unwind in a more natural manner. Use the inform, negotiate, and call back strategy. One can repeat the strategy technique over and over. So, we will condense it up for you. What you essentially have to do is work in patches of 25 minutes. Avoid all manifestations of social media to keep distractions at bay. And one thing you have got to fortify with the passage of time is the 3 core strategy of inform, negotiate, and call back. Let us now quickly simplify this strategy for you. If someone tries to engage with you in person during your work time of 25 minutes, then you ought to inform that person that you cannot quite commit into conversation at this moment. Negotiate a mutually suitable time when you can and call back at them when you are done and dusted with a 25-minute time frame of yours. How and when to use it? Do yourself a favor. Commit to just completing only one cycle of 25 minutes of Pomodoro Technique every 12 to 24 hours. What this does is push you into commitment territory, thus inducing greater levels of responsibility within you. Furthermore, when you have gotten used to the stated frame and get into the groove of it, then you can expand the time minutes of work time from 25 to even 45 minutes. This is precisely what I do. I work for 45 minutes, and instead of 10, I enjoy a break of 15 minutes. Where here, I try to be physically active in ways more than one. This means that the breaks pan out more naturally. Your body responds positively, and at the end of it, higher amount of eventual productivity gets garnered by you. Pomodoro Technique in the intense world of hustle. After giving you a comprehensive view of what Pomodoro is, now we would like to elucidate to you why your own personally crafted Pomodoro Technique can help you get rid of the hustle culture that you bent your mind into. As our lives pass through the hustle and bustle of daily life, we start to not only think, but believe that life is all about hustle it out. Nevertheless, hold on, sit back and wait up. Your hustle may not be able to take you anywhere you'd probably want to be, let's say 5 to 10 years down the line. Nonetheless, just give our propositions a bit of thought. It only takes a little while to discern this perspective. Would you like to do something aimlessly and in a hodgepodge, or complete a task in a procedural manner and execute it to the absolute precision? Of course, any sense-minded individual would know the answer to this one. So, why not implement a thoughtful, concocted process named the Pomodoro Technique in your life for greater levels of productivity, and maybe try to get rid of the hustle in life for the time being? It only takes few hours to arrive to a decision, and maybe a couple of weeks to garner results from your experiment on Pomodoro Technique, and then derive to a final conclusion if it actually turned out to be a boon or bane for you. Why not try it together? Let us know in the comment section as to what your take on Pomodoro Technique is, and in what form or manner would you implement it if you got an opportunity to do so. It takes a lot of effort and research on our part to bring out the content you just consumed. Therefore, we would humbly request you to spread the word by liking this video, sharing it with your near and dear ones, and subscribing to our channel.